What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the Jericho Report Weekly News Briefing. It is Saturday, March the 29th, 2014. As always, first link below is going to take you over to the Blogspot post. That's where you can find all the links I'm about to give you. First off, let me say my heart goes out to the Boston Fire Department families of 2 firefighters killed in Boston brownstone fire. Crazy fire. It moved crazy fast. I'll put a link to it. We got to remember our first responders when things like this happen. We had another fire down in Houston, Texas. Massive 5-alarm fire destroys entire apartment complex in Montrose. The whole block went up. Although I don't think anyone was hurt. Definitely check out the video they got there. Crazy fire. From Seattle, PI, we got Washington landslide, one of nation's deadliest. We got this landslide going on up in Washington State. 17 dead so far, many others missing. My heart goes out to everybody who's involved in that. Crazy. You know, Mother Nature just letting us know that she's boss, you know. We got train jumps the tracks, 32 hurt in Chicago's O'Hare Airport. This came out March 25th. Crazy pictures there. Kind of looks like that movie Money Train from Time. Check this out. We got more of this going on. How many times have we seen this? Secret Service agents booted from Obama's Europe trip after drinking. Yeah, because Secret Service agents always screw around on the job. This came out March 25th. I don't buy the official story. Same way with this one. We got more of this. U.S. military. 9 Air Force nuke commanders fired. 9 Air Force nuke commanders fired in cheating scandal. March 27th from Time. Put a link to it. I don't buy any of this crap. What's really going on? From HuffPost Crime, we got Naval Station Norfolk shooting leaves 2 dead. I believe one was a sailor. I put a link to this. What's up with that? I don't know. We got lawmakers urge president to release information on 9/11. This from the West Wire News. Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen, but I'll put a link to it. You know when 9/11 truth will come out? Like 100 years from now. Just like Gulf of Tonkin. Yeah, Google that one. We got MH370 news. Apparently, they've moved the search. They've moved the search zone like 1,000 miles in another direction. Let's look over here. Let's look over there. What a clown show. We got are Israelis planning another 9/11 using missing Boeing 777? Question mark. This came out March 28th. Put a link to it. I don't know. We got Malaysia says there's sealed evidence on MH370 that cannot be made public. Cannot be made public. Why is that? Put a link to this from the big story. We got from MSN News. Pilot was in no state of mind to fly, says friend. This is something new. I'll put a link to this for those of you who haven't heard about that. And shout out to Monograph. The Intel Hub picked up his video. YouTube investigator. Flight 370 landed at Diego Garcia military base. Plane and passengers, yada yada. Put a link to this right onto the Intel Hub and to Monograph. From BBC, we got Canadian man in hospital test negative for Ebola. I think they were saying the other day he might have had Ebola. Be advised, I'll put a link to this. Meanwhile, we got 29 dead from viral hemorrhagic fever. I'm not quite sure where this is. Somewhere in the world. Put a link to from ABC News. Over to financial news. How the Dow Jones Industrial Average did Friday. Let's see. Dow was up 58 points. However, it was only up 20 points on the week. Pretty flat week for the Dow. Put a link to this data. We got Detroit plans mass water shutoff, over $260 million in delinquent water bills. Be advised if you live in Detroit. Put a link to this from Max Kaiser. We got 102 billion. Check this out. Another dead FBI agent. 102 billion DBSI fraud trial on hold after FBI agent commits suicide. Just like Special Agent Stephen Ivins out in LA, right? Put a link to this. I'll never buy that story for a second. We got this. Obama entourage and 3,400 square foot, $8,350 per night suit. Put a link to this, March 22nd. Yeah, he's living large over there. Be advised if you use U.S. Bank, we got checking account advance. Important changes to checking account advance if you get advance on your checking account, payday loan or something like that. Put a link to this. Be advised you're going to want to be aware of that. We got natural news. Big Pharma's making a profit. Big Pharma profiting gone wild. $1,000 a pill for a drug that sells for less than $10 in Egypt. $1,000 a pill in the United States. Put a link to it. I got a couple more here. Harry Reid said Obamacare horror stories were untrue. Well, here's a video response featuring 50 cases from 50 states. Put a link to this. Shout out to The Blaze. They do a good job lately. Put a link to that. We got 300, check this out, 300 plus million Americans engaging in the biggest act of civil disobedience in history. People not signing up for Obamacare. Right on. I'll never sign up for that crap. Stick it up your butt. We got Obamacare. Speaking of Obamacare administration extends healthcare enrollment deadline for some. I say for all. Screw your tyrannical healthcare system, you tyrant bastard. We're over to New World Order and police state news, and sorry for my language, but tyranny just pisses me off. You guys heard about this, right? Albuquerque police officer-involved shooting was justified. Really, they murdered this man. They murdered this man who was just trying to get away from society and go chill out by himself. No, they gun him down. I'll put a link to it. A lot of you guys are already aware of it. They say it was justified, and then I got a second link says Albuquerque police chief says he spoke too soon. Yeah, because it's made viral on the internet. That's why you spoke too soon, scumbag. Put a link to it. Your officers murdered that man, and you frickin' know it. From the Daily Caller, NYT reporter says Obama administration is the greatest enemy of press freedom in a generation. No crap, right? And I got another article to follow this one up with. Feinstein's bill to kill free speech of independent journalists has votes to pass Senate. I thought this was dead. Apparently not. I'll put a link to it. Enjoy this tool we have to communicate. We won't have it forever. Police keep quiet about cell phone tracking technology. This came out March 22nd from Pocono Record. Article there on cell phone tracking. Meanwhile, Microsoft promises to not invade customer accounts again, says they will have the government do it instead. This is from RT. Put a link to it. Screw you, Bill Gates. Come out March 29. From Opposing Views, Kansas family forced to spend $25,000 to learn why their home was raided. Raided by SWAT team over XYZ that they didn't find. Well, you got to spend money to figure out how to what really happened. I don't know. Put a link to it. From MSNBC News, law reportedly, check this out, pay attention, law reportedly allows Tennessee to plan executions in secret. Plan executions in secret. You know where that can lead. Ask them how it worked out in Nazi Germany. Put a link to it. Georgia legislators passed most extreme gun bill ever. This came out March 22nd. Be advised if you live in Georgia. Meanwhile, anti-gun bill squeaks through New Hampshire Senate Committee 3-2. Come out March 21st. Be advised if you're in New Hampshire. All this stuff going on in the background while everybody's distracted with this frickin' plane. From the Blaze, this will piss you off for sure. Middle school workbook reportedly includes what could be the most outrageous definition of the Second Amendment yet. Scroll down. Check it out. This amendment states that people have the right to certain weapons providing they register them. Really? Nah, I'm sorry. Shall not be infringed. That's Common Core for you. Meanwhile, we got another school out in Colorado. Students at shooting range for gun safety. Right on. This is Pueblo County, Colorado. Put a link to this. This will piss you off. Another story out of Colorado. School bans student for shaving head in support of her friend who has cancer. Apparently, this little girl is not allowed to shave her head to support her friend. She gets banned from school. This from Grand Junction, Colorado. Please pull it up and check out the video report. Outrageous. One more in the police state, Ben. Indiana is withdrawing from Common Core standards. A little bit of good news. This is from News 12 Local. Put a link to it. Over to World War III news now. Got a lot of it this week. Check this out. CBS Denver runs this story. Study says small nuclear war would destroy the world. Put a link to it. Check out the picture they got. Come out March 26th. Are they prepping people for what's about to come? Meanwhile, Merkel miffed at Barack Obama and David Cameron nuclear war game. Nuclear war game. This from the Telegraph, the same paper that years ago published Operation Blackjack. Imagine that. Ukraine says 100,000 Russian troops are near the border. Put a link to this. Not sure what's up with that from Yahoo News. Meanwhile, Obama urges Putin to pull back troops from Ukraine border in phone call yesterday's date, March 28. So they're saying this, that. I mean, I don't know. From Zero Hedge, we got Russia set to sanction U.S. businesses. Be advised, this come out on the 27th. Swiss decide against Russian sanctions. That's interesting. From Blacklisted News, put a link to that. Other World War III news going on. Turkey shoots down Syrian jet to support Al-Qaeda offensive. Put a link to this, come out March 25th. Meanwhile, Lo-Chem still feeling kind of left out over there. North Korea fires 2 more mid-range missiles. Seoul says this come out March 25th. Go back to playing your Xbox, Lo-Chem. Egyptian court sentences 529 people to death. 529 people to death, I believe, for supporting XYZ. Put a link to it from the Washington Post. I don't know. Check this out. Headshot. Muslim lived on welfare for 10 years. Poses with 5 decapitated heads. Absolutely sickening, some of the stuff going on in this world. I'll put a link to it. From RT, Turkey shuts off YouTube after Syrian invasion plan leak. Syria invasion plan leak. You know, Twitter's already shut off. Now they shut off YouTube in Turkey. I'd be pissed. Put a link to this. Got one more in the World War III bin. Oh boy, Rumsfeld says a trained ape could do a better job than Obama in Afghanistan. Very interesting. Put a link to it. Okay, we're with Earth changes in 2012 news now. We got this here. Earthquake may have caused the Washington mudslide, official says. Another link on the Washington mudslide. You got a pretty impressive picture there. Could have been an earthquake that triggered that. Again, Mother Nature's just letting people know. We're all guests here. From NBC News, we have experts in Chile fear catastrophe as 300 quakes hit in 1 week. I'll put a link to this. 300 quakes in a week. Something big coming? I don't know. Washington Monument to reopen more than 2 years after earthquake. Took them 2 years to make repairs to the Washington Monument. This came out March 25th. Could have built a new one in that time. From physicsworld.com, check this out. It's pretty cool. Seismic cloak could minimize earthquake damage. Seismic cloak. Put a link to it. Come out on March 25th. We had some oil spills, apparently. We had an oil spill. Highland Crude Pipeline spills oil near Alexander, North Dakota. Be advised, this come out on the 21st of March. Had the big one down in Texas. Crews tried to contain oil spill in Galveston Bay. Had some ships that were held up by this crazy oil spill. Humans just continued to pollute. We got 11 injured at Hanford Nuclear Site. I believe this is the one in Washington State. I heard some people were sick. Put a link to this from Simply Info. Got one from RT. Navy to test, check this out, Navy to test thousands of homes in California for radiation. Interesting stuff. Come out March 26th. Fukushima, anybody? Put a link to it. Got one more. Meteorite from Ontario fireball described as Rosetta Stone. This from CBC News, Technology and Science. Be advised if you're in Canada. Put a link to that. Over to strange and bizarre news. Got some this week. Newspaper apologizes for showing Obamas as apes. Are they trying to play the race card again? It's kind of weak sauce, man. I'll put a link to that. We got, let's see. Obama, check this out. Obama appointed judge rules that U.S. border fence is racist. How can the U.S. border fence be racist? I know. It's called North American Union. Google that. Let's see. From the Telegraph. Prisoners could serve 1,000-year sentence in 8 hours. Put a link to this. Craziness. Some quantum stuff going on. From Hawaii News Now. Be advised if you're in New York City or if you're going to be in New York City, Cupcake ATM opens in New York. You can go up to an ATM and get a cupcake. Put a link to this. Isn't that the city that's trying to dial back on like large drinks, but they come out with an ATM cupcake machine? I don't know. Put a link to it from the Examiner. Man forced to smoke meth at gunpoint in strange robbery in the Mission District. I believe, where's this? San Francisco, San Diego, somewhere like that. Put a link to this. March 25th. Forced to smoke meth in robbery attempt. Doesn't make much sense. Check this out. Germany seizes cocaine-filled condoms that were going to the Vatican. Germany seizes cocaine-filled condoms that were headed to the Vatican. What's up with that? March 23rd. I don't know. From the Washington Times, too. I got a couple more. Be advised if you're in Chicago, razor blades glued to playground equipment in Colorado. Not Colorado, Chicago. This from WGN-TV. Razor blades glued to playground equipment. What kind of sick bastard does something like that? I'll put a link to it. Got one more in the strange and bizarre bin. Idiot attempts to break into police station to retrieve his skateboard. I'll put a link to it. For all other news, please check my favorite videos. I have favorited tons of videos over the past week. Thank you to everybody who puts out content. At least pull it up and scan over the titles of the videos. A lot of stuff I missed, a lot of stuff you might not know about. Got some shout-outs this week. Shout-out to Man Brings Rifle to Airport to exercise his freedom of speech. Where did this happen? I believe Manchester, New Hampshire. Right on. Guy walks into an airport with a rifle. Got balls, in my opinion. From Collective Evolution, we got shout-out to Man builds his dream mini home in 6 weeks for $9,000. Check out the pictures of his house. Right on. Shout out to him. He's completely off the grid. Right on. Shout out to this cop. Here's a cop caught on video encounter that will make your day. For all of those you think that all cops are bad, pull this one up. Cop stops to play basketball with a kid. Right on. Shout out to him. Shout out to the giraffe that said his final goodbye to a dying zoo worker. If you didn't like the last link, you'll definitely like this one. Very heart-wrenching story here. That is too cool, man. Pull it up, take a look at the picture. One more shout-out this week. Shout-out to Cheech and Chong. Announced first official film together in over 30 years. Who doesn't love some Cheech and Chong? You ought to love that out in Colorado, at least. Anyway, I'll put a link to that. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up and a +1 or wherever you find this video. I really appreciate it. Or give it a thumbs down if you think it sucks. It's the worst of YouTube. Never want to see it again. Please rate, though. It helps it move around. You can also follow me on Google+, Facebook, Twitter for new video alerts, live show alerts, breaking news alerts, stuff like that. All those links are at the bottom always. Another week of madness. Look at this. This latest on CNN. Ships are in the new search zone they're in the new, over here, 1,000 miles over here, 1,000 miles over there. I don't think they're going to find anything. If they do, it was planted there. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on all this crap going on? Leave your thoughts below. I love reading your guys' comments. Till the next one, guys. You guys take care. Stay safe. I will see you on the next one.